Happy Monday to you. This is meteorologist Mike Griffith for U.S. Weather Pro, and the talk of the town is the tropics. And we're looking at two areas of generally disorganized thunderstorms. There is a little bit of a circulation here with this feature just to the east of the Yucatan Peninsula, and there also is this other tropical feature here just off the coast of South America that the Tropical National Hurricane Center actually is giving this a 90% chance of formation here in the next 24 to 48 hours, with the central winds 35 knots in this thing, so it could become a tropical storm at any given moment. Not really well-defined circulation, though. I don't know why they're jumping all over this because this is really looking disorganized. It could even get lost down into South America here. It's entering a high shear environment. It's going to get torn apart likely. If it does form, it's going to lose its punch really quickly. It could form. This area disturbed weather could form into a weak, disorganized tropical storm. But as it gets to the Cape Verde Islands here, it's not going to really stay together. It's going to kind of get sheared apart. Really, really strong shear in this area. Not uncommon for this time of year because it still is early June and we're still in a spring-like pattern. It's not even summertime yet, so you're going to have a lot of shear in the Gulf and a lot of shear in this area still. It hasn't calmed down enough to allow anything to really get organized. Here's our other tropical feature here just off the east coast of the Yucatan Peninsula, starting to get organized a little bit. Some deeper thunderstorms and deeper convection around the center of this system. And again, it's a high shear environment, so it's going to get tough to get organized and get well defined. Now, what I think is going to happen with this is tropical cyclones are typically attracted towards an eye, or I should say a trough or an area of low pressure. Here comes the cold front that's going to bring showers and thunderstorms to much of the East Coast here today. And this is going to be a trough or colder air behind the front or lower pressure. So it's going to kind of get pulled up this way right here. And if you look at much of the circulation here in the mid-levels earlier, I was seeing kind of a flow that was looking kind of like this. So I'm thinking it's going to get pulled into this general direction. Right here is the tropical feature that of interest, and I believe it's going to kind of get pulled in this general direction, but it's going to make landfall as a very weak tropical storm, or maybe even the tropical depression. Nothing really to get too alarmed about here other than the flooding rains across the southeast. This would be a ton of rain across the southeast part of the United States here. And the same thing for this system, but I think this is going to get sheared apart. I don't think it's going to really stay or well organized at all. Shifting gears here into the shear zone. Right here is where that tropical system is located. There still is a decent amount of shear, and it's neither increasing or decreasing amounts of shear. Some decreasing shear here just to the east of Puerto Rico and the Dominican Republic. But really, there is shear in this whole area, and it's not really that favorable, especially if this system moves further to the west. The shear is increasing here, so it's going to get ripped apart by the upper level winds. And here is our other system here in the just east of the Yucatan Peninsula. The shear is really relaxed right here, so this will allow for some temporary formation. But once it gets moving and pulled up into this area, again, an increasing shear, unfavorable environment for this storm, especially if it gets pulled up in this direction. I don't think it's going to really form that much. It's just going to be a rainmaker across the southeast. Flooding, though, that is definitely a threat. It's not going to be a strong storm, but it's going to produce a lot of tropical rainfall here across the southeast, and that will be the main issue for that. So that's what I think about the tropics. Now, bringing it back home here in the United States, there is a potential for some severe weather here across Philadelphia and maybe up into New York City today, maybe even this morning or later this afternoon or early this afternoon, as a cold front moves through from the west and pushes east. Eastern Pennsylvania, severe thunderstorms here, more storms across much of the southeast. Nothing really severe, though, just heavy rain likely here across the Carolinas and even the deep south into the Florida Panhandle. We're not expecting a whole lot in the way of tornadoes or hail or anything significant across the south, anywhere south of Philadelphia. Just generalized thunderstorms with some damaging wind gusts still possible, and there could be some hail or even a couple funnel clouds. But I'm not expecting a widespread outbreak today anywhere south of Philadelphia. Anywhere up in Philadelphia into New York and maybe up into southern New England, keep an eye to the sky today for threatening weather, including hail and likely tornadoes. So be alert up there in the I-95 corridor northeast of Philadelphia up into Providence, as that could be the battle zone today. If you're flying anywhere from the east into the Midwest or out west, you're going to have a rough ride, especially if you are leaving today or if you are arriving in the east today, anytime in the late morning to early afternoon hours. And your flights could be canceled or delayed. Keep an eye to the sky today. Stay safe. Thanks a lot for watching. I'm meteorologist Mike Griffith for U.S. Weather Pro.